I was standing by the dessert table when Marcus made his announcement. The entire family gathered around him, cousins, aunts, uncles, mom beaming with pride. He held up his phone, showing the purchase agreement with its official letterhead and bold numbers. $890,000. Finally getting this dead weight off our hands, he said, and everyone laughed. Buyers are paying cash. Agricultural Development Company. They close Thursday. Mom squeezed his shoulder. Your grandfather would be so proud someone's finally putting that land to productive use. I set down my plate. The peach cobbler suddenly tasted like metal. What land? Your inheritance, Marcus said, not even looking at me. The 47 acres. I've been managing it since you clearly weren't interested. Managing it? My voice came out steady, which surprised me. I farm it. You play farmer, my sister Diane corrected. Marcus has been handling the real business side. Property taxes, maintenance, all of it. I'd been working that land for 8 years. Every weekend. Every evening after my day job as a civil engineer. Organic vegetables supplying 6 restaurants in town. Native pollinator gardens expanding every season. Soil restoration projects with the state agricultural extension. My grandfather's legacy growing. But to them I was playing. The sale closes in 4 days, Marcus continued. Surveyors finished yesterday. Equipment scheduled for delivery Friday. Development starts next week. I pulled out my phone. The title was in my name. Fully. Grandfather's will had been explicit. To my granddaughter Sarah, who understands that land is not property, it's partnership. You can't sell what you don't own, I said quietly. Marcus's smile didn't waver. Power of attorney, little sister. You signed it 3 years ago when you were in the hospital. Remember? Mom has it notarized and everything. I did remember. Appendicitis. Emergency surgery. Marcus visiting with papers, saying I needed someone to handle bills if complications arose. I'd been on morphine. Signature shaky but legal. That was for medical decisions and bill payment, I said. It was general power of attorney, my mother interjected. Our lawyer confirmed it covers property transactions. Especially since you weren't using the land properly. The room felt smaller. Everyone was looking at me with that familiar expression. The one that said I was being difficult again, making problems where there were none. Marcus's jaw had that tight set that meant the conversation was over. I walked out to my truck without another word. The voicemail came Tuesday morning at 6:47 a.m. I was already in the fields, checking the irrigation system before work. Ms. Patterson, this is Robert Chin from Cascade Agricultural Appraisals. I'm conducting the final valuation for the sale of the 47-acre parcel on County Road 19. I need to schedule a walkthrough today if possible. Could you call me back? I called from the field, dirt under my fingernails, morning sun already warm on my neck. Mr. Chin, I'm Sarah Patterson. I'm available anytime. That's my land. A long pause. You're Sarah Patterson? Bill Patterson's granddaughter. Yes. Another pause, longer this time. Miss Patterson, I need to come out there this morning. Can you meet me at 9 a.m.? He arrived in a white truck with company logos on the door. Late 50s, wire-rimmed glasses, weathered hands of someone who'd worked land himself. He stood at the edge of my heirloom tomato section for a full minute, not speaking. Bill told me you'd never sell, he finally said. We appraised this property in 2004, right before he passed. He walked me through every acre. Talked about soil composition, watershed management, native species. Then he showed me his granddaughter's restoration plans. He pulled out a folder. Inside were my original sketches from college. Detailed maps of pollinator corridors, crop rotation schedules, water conservation systems. My grandfather had kept them. Showed them to the appraiser. He said, Sarah understands what I'm giving her. She won't just own it. She'll tend it. Robert's voice was tight. He made me promise something that day. Said if I ever got a call about this land being sold, I should verify it was actually you selling. It's not me, I said. I know. He held up his phone. I pulled the sale documents this morning. The signature on the seller's acknowledgement doesn't match county records. I've been doing this for 32 years. That's a forgery. The world tilted slightly, then righted itself. What happens now? I file a fraud alert with the title company. They freeze the transaction. Then I call the state real estate commission. He paused. Ms. Patterson, someone committed a felony. This gets reported to authorities whether you want it to or not. I thought about the sunk cost fallacy. I'd studied it in engineering school. The idea that people continue investing in failing systems because they've already invested so much. Families were sunk cost fallacies. You kept investing love and trust because you'd already invested years, watching them grow into people you barely recognized. But what if the foundation was never solid? What if the structure was compromised from the start? File everything, I told Robert. I want full documentation. He nodded slowly. Your grandfather was a good man. He'd be proud of what you've built here. The call to the title company came at 11:33 a.m. I was back at my civil engineering office, reviewing bridge load calculations when my personal phone lit up. Ms. Patterson, this is Janet Kowalski, Senior Escrow Officer at Cascade Title. We've received a fraud alert on the property sale scheduled for Thursday. We're immediately freezing all transaction activity and notifying all parties. I need to verify. Did you authorize Marcus Patterson to sell the 47-acre parcel? No. Did you sign any documents related to this sale? No. Do you have copies of the power of attorney document he provided? Not with me. But I know what it was supposed to cover. We'll need original copies. We're also flagging this with our legal department and the county prosecutor's office. Real estate fraud is a Class B felony in this state. The room felt very quiet suddenly. Class B felony. My brother. Prison time. Family destruction. But also, my grandfather's land saved. My 8 years of work protected. The soil I'd restored acre by acre still mine. I understand, I said. What do you need from me? The ghost ledger started as a spreadsheet. I opened it that night after work, standing in the farmhouse kitchen my grandfather built. It had taken me 3 weeks to refinish the floors. Marcus had called it playing house. The ghost ledger. 8 years of invisible work. Missed life events. Sister's wedding rehearsal dinner. I was installing irrigation. Cost equals family photos I'm not in, relationship erosion. Mom's 60th birthday trip. Couldn't afford it after buying seeds and equipment. Cost equals, Sarah never prioritizes family narrative permanent. Brother's startup celebration. I was harvesting for Saturday market. Cost equals being labeled unsupportive, cannot be recovered. Confidence erosion. Every family dinner. Marcus discussed real business for 40 minutes. My farm got 90 seconds before topic changed. Cost equals voice, slowly stolen. Achievement recalibration. Supplying 6 restaurants equals nice hobby. Marcus's failed app launch equals entrepreneurial courage. Cost equals self-worth metric corrupted. Vocabulary shift. Stopped saying my farm, started saying the land because ownership felt presumptuous. Cost equals claiming space surrendered. Time theft. 4 years handling Marcus's emergency calls. Investor meetings he forgot. Presentations he needed help with. Cost equals 340+ hours, 14 full days of life. Family assumption I'd handle Thanksgiving at the farm because I was already there anyway. Cost equals 8 Thanksgivings as unpaid caterer and venue never thanked. Emotional labor. Years as mom's sounding board about Marcus's struggles while mine went unacknowledged. Cost equals mental bandwidth never refilled. Explaining why I couldn't loan Marcus money, then being labeled selfish at Christmas. Cost equals moral standing permanently damaged. Each line was a microclimax of recognition. Not dramatic. Just true. The ledger ran to 247 entries before I stopped. None of it was recoverable. But naming it mattered. Marcus called Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. I was in the greenhouse transplanting seedlings. What the hell did you do? His voice was pure rage. The title company called. They're threatening to report me for fraud. The buyers are furious. I had contracts based on this sale. You forged my signature to sell my land. I used power of attorney. Totally legal. You weren't using the property anyway. I farm it. 6 restaurants buy from me. The state AG extension has 3 research projects running here. I've restored 22 acres of native prairie. You play in dirt and call it farming. This sale was putting the land to actual productive use. Commercial development. Jobs. Tax revenue. I sat down on the greenhouse bench. The smell of tomato plants and warm earth filled the space. Grandpa told the appraiser I'd never sell. You knew that. Silence. Robert Chin, I continued. He appraised the land in 2004. Grandpa made him promise to verify if there was ever a sale. He kept my restoration plans. Called them my inheritance map. That old man had dementia, Marcus snapped. He didn't know what he was doing when he changed the will. Everyone knows I should have gotten that land. I'm the businessman. I have the vision. You're just playing Laura Ingalls Wilder out there. Something in me broke then. Not shattered, solidified. Became diamond hard and unmovable. The county prosecutor is reviewing the case, I said quietly. Class B felony. The State Real Estate Commission has opened an investigation. The title company flagged 5 separate document irregularities. You're going to send your own brother to prison? You tried to steal my inheritance. You forged legal documents. You celebrated it at a family reunion. My voice stayed level. I'm not sending you anywhere. Your choices did that. He hung up. Mom called 6 minutes later. The investigation took 11 weeks. During that time I documented everything with the precision of the engineer I was. Week 1 to 2. Evidence collection. I gathered 8 years of farm records. Crop yields. Sales receipts from 6 restaurants. Soil test results showing improvement from depleted to certified organic. Water quality data from the watershed restoration. Native species counts from the prairie sections. State Extension Program documentation showing the land as active research site. Every single sheet of paper proved continuous, productive agricultural use. Week 3 to 4. Legal consultation. I hired Catherine Wu, a real estate attorney who specialized in inheritance disputes and fraud. She reviewed the power of attorney document. Her assessment took 12 minutes. This authorizes medical decisions and bill payment during incapacity. It explicitly excludes real property transactions. The notary block is valid, but the scope is crystal clear. Your brother had no authority to sell. She filed formal complaints with 3 agencies: County Prosecutor, State Attorney General, and State Real Estate Commission. Week 5 to 7. Forensic analysis. The title company hired a forensic document examiner. He compared the signature on the sale documents to my actual signature from the deed, tax records, and driver's license. His report ran to 47 pages. The conclusion appeared on page 3. The questioned signature exhibits none of the natural variation and habitual patterns present in the known exemplars. It is my professional opinion that this signature is a simulation, a forgery. 14 specific points of difference. Pressure patterns. Letter formations. Slant angles. The document was irrefutable. Week 8 to 9. Witness interviews. The prosecutor's office interviewed 12 people. Robert Chin, the appraiser, provided the most damaging testimony. He'd recorded his conversation with my grandfather in 2004. Bill Patterson's voice on tape. If someone tries to sell after I'm gone, it's not Sarah. She'd never betray the land. The restaurants I supplied gave statements. The State Extension Program director provided documentation. Even the buyers, angry about losing the property, confirmed Marcus had presented himself as sole decision-maker. Week 10 to 11. Counter-evidence and dismantling. Marcus's attorney argued the power of attorney was general and comprehensive. Catherine Wu produced case law from our state, Davidson v. Davidson, 2018, which established that POA documents must explicitly state real property powers or they default to exclusion. Marcus argued I'd abandoned the property. We submitted 8 years of quarterly tax payments from my account, weekly time logs, business license renewal, organic certification documents. Marcus claimed emotional distress and family betrayal. The prosecutor submitted his text messages to the buyers. My sister's just sentimental about the old man. Won't matter once it's sold. Each argument collapsed under documentary weight. Week 12. Resolution. The State Attorney General's office offered Marcus a choice: plead to attempted fraud with restitution and probation, or face trial for felony fraud, forgery, and identity theft. He took the plea. 3 years probation. $47,000 in restitution covering legal fees and lost development opportunities. Permanent record. If he worked in real estate or finance, his career was over. Mom called me a vindictive bitch. Diane said I'd destroyed the family over dirt. The cousins who'd celebrated at the reunion? Not one phone call. The only person who reached out was Robert Chin. Your grandfather would be proud, he said. Not about your brother. About you protecting what matters. 6 months later, I expanded operations to 55 acres by leasing adjoining property. 8 restaurants now. A farm-to-school program supplying 3 districts. The native prairie sections became an official wildlife corridor recognized by the State Conservation Department. I framed Robert's appraisal report from 2004. Grandpa's words about me understanding what he was giving. It hangs in the farmhouse above my desk, next to my engineering degree and organic certification. Marcus and I haven't spoken in 18 months. Mom sends occasional emails about forgiveness and family. I don't respond. Diane blocked me everywhere. The ghost ledger taught me something about emotional accounting. You can't recover sunk costs. But you can stop incurring new ones. Every family dinner I skip, every guilt trip I decline, every boundary I maintain. Those are prevented losses. Savings, not spending. Marcus wanted to destroy something. Said he proved its worth. The buyer's $890,000 offer became my validation. The fraud investigation became my evidence. His crime became my freedom. I walk the restored prairie sections most evenings. Milkweed for monarchs. Coneflowers for goldfinches. Big bluestem grass reaching 6 feet tall like it did before the land was broken for conventional farming. My grandfather told Robert Chin I understood what he was giving me. Not property. Partnership. Marcus tried to take it. The land itself stopped him. Through soil records and restoration data. Through watershed improvement and native species counts. Through Robert Chen's 32 years of professional integrity and a promise made to a dying farmer. There is no reconciliation coming. No healing in this family. That's not tragedy, it's clarity. The land remembers what humans forget. That some things are not for sale. That inheritance is not ownership. That partnership demands presence. Marcus tried to sell what he never understood. The appraiser who knew better called it fraud. And the land, patient as always, simply waited for someone who knew how to listen.